We're doing at Circles, we're developing a platform that helps large enterprises innovate and basically make processes more efficient.
Hey guys, welcome to the Up Next podcast, where we are interviewing teen entrepreneurs that are making it big time in the startup world. We are asking the questions we know you want to hear. Up Next is an app made for teens where anyone can join or build a real life startup. Our guest today is Amit Kochavi, age 23, from Israel. He is the co-founder of SkillsUp, which is a platform that helps job seekers grow their career opportunities. And he is also the founder of Circles, which is a platform that is creating innovation hubs, a simple way to share ideas and drive innovation with companies and communities. Amit went through this process at the age of 21. Amit, it's great to have you. Is there anything you'd like to add?
And SkillsUp is a venture that I helped co-found together with two great friends. A pandemic, actually, to help job seekers find their next career path using a digital platform. So SkillsUp is basically an app where every job seeker can come and kind of train himself towards his next career goal.
How did you find yourself creating such a business? What sparked the idea?
When I look at, in general, entrepreneurship and my journey, then I like to look at it as a process and as a kind of creating something. And I started this journey or process when I was already 12 or 13 years old. And even before, we look at it from different aspects. And I think that the most important thing to me from a very young age was to really help people and create something that people like and that really creates a stronger sense of community for people. And you can see it through the different projects that I've created during my career, and also through these two ventures that I just talked about. Also Circles and also SkillsUp is very around people, and I think that's what sparks me from the first time that I went into the entrepreneurship world until today, really helping people and putting them in the center. And I believe that technology is a great way to make processes more efficient and to connect more people together and help them have a better time in their workspace.
Who do you consider your first mentor? What did they help you go through?
First of all, I believe a lot in learning from the experience of others. I think that's the number one tip that I can give anyone. I learn every day something new. Every week, I'm learning something new and a lot of uncertainty. Every step that you take forward, there's a lot of stuff that you don't know. So I from a young age, I tried to really surround myself with the best mentors that I could. And my first mentors are my parents and my grandparents. And as I move forward, I had a great mentor that's until today, Guy Gamzu, who was one of the early investors in Fiverr. And really, I learned a lot from him. And also from my first investors in Circles, including Yoav Shlosh and others. Today, I'm always adding more mentors to my pool. Really 10 or 15 people that I really try to learn from them as much as I can. I want to be the best at what I do, and I want really to achieve my goals and to make this journey the most impactful on myself and the people that I'm managing or surround me. So I think that I need to learn a lot from people that have done this already and that have a similar career path that I want to.
How much time did it take for you to build the product that you launched?
We're still building the product. I think that it's a process. We're always fine-tuning, iterating, learning new stuff, fixing bugs. There's always problems. I think we changed the platform like 3 or 4 times in the last 2 years. And that's the important tip too. Don't be afraid to I'm in love with making mistakes and failure. Like I think that getting to dead ends is the best thing, because afterwards you find really creative solutions and you get to a better stage, and you find out something that you didn't even think about in the beginning, and different use cases for your product. So I think that also you always need to kind of adjust to your what you're doing and to the customer needs and how the product is evolving as the time goes. But yeah, we started developing 2 years ago, and we built it like 3 times or 4 times, and now it's pretty stable. And we're starting to now more look at it as what types of use cases our product can help. So
How much money was needed to build your first version?
I when I started the company, I raised a small pre-seed round and from 5 angel investors, very small. That was enough for like a year. And during COVID, what I did, because our sales pipeline was pretty like it stopped for a couple of months, so and a lot of people were looking for jobs. Then I created this very interesting internship program at Circles where people could come and learn how to code, and as in exchange they would give us development hours. And in this way I saved over $500,000. I think we had like 70 people working on our product, and today we have a nice team here, and part of like all my developers I met through this initiative. So they're also very dedicated to Circles and to me, and also we went through a lot together, because when they joined the team I couldn't pay them, and now we're sitting in an office together. So help you if you really want to achieve your goal. Then also if you don't have funding, or also if you're low on cash, then you need always to think about the positive side and how you push forward.
How did you get those first users, customers to come aboard? What was that like?
Like I treat every customer like it's my first one also now. And because also it's very interesting, and every customer is different, especially when we're selling to enterprises. So every organization is super different. One is like a food company, another one is a construction company, another one is an insurance company. Each one is totally different.
Yeah.
And the first customer was a construction company, and I got a connection to them, and they exactly hired an innovation manager, and we had a great bonding, and we understood that we're on the same page. We can say like he really needed a platform like this, and actually before the construction company, we were working with El Al, the airlines, El Al Airlines, and that was, I think I called them on the phone and somehow got a meeting there, and unfortunately because of the pandemic, the 95% of their employees were sent out, so we couldn't continue working with them. But yeah, really these two customers were the beginning of everything, and now we're now starting to grow. It's not like far away from this day. Yeah, what I did, I did make a list of all the public companies in Israel, and I put their phone, because they're a public company, then they have to have a phone number and email. So I just called up each one and got to a contact there. And
what is the next goal for you looking forward?
my goal is to continue. I think that it's like in correlation. I think that when I look at what I'm doing as a creation, not only as a financial or a professional thing. It's really I'm giving most of my hours of my day to my startup. I'm treating it like my baby. So I think that really I want to continue learning, because if I'm learning on my personal level, then that's the most important thing. And also if I'm continuing to learn all the time, it means that the company is doing something that's new, that's different. Hopefully only good stuff. But but I think that as the company evolves and you hire your first 10 employees, and the next goal will be to hire our first 50 employees, and it's different. It's a different, like it's new stuff. So I'm continuing to learn all the time, also on professional, but also very on a personal level. Like it makes you be a better person and relationships, if everything, like how you treat your life, how you want to build your personal life. So I think that they're very well connected. And also it connects to what I started with. Everything is like in the end of the day, companies or like we're used to hearing about stories in the news, or in the end of the day, everything is people. And it doesn't matter if it's 10 or 1,000 or 100 people that surround you. Also, customers are people in the end of the day. So it's kind of like enriching your community and making it larger and larger and larger, and your network. And as those grow, then you learn more about yourself professionally and personally.
What is one time you experienced a real fail moment? Just, everything went wrong. Did you fix it? Were you able to? Did you learn from it? What happened?
The more professional one is the first money that I raised, the pre-seed, and I think that I learned a lot from that, because I made a lot of mistakes with managing the budget there, and the type of team that I built wasn't correct for the time, like the time of the company and what we were trying to do. It wasn't a huge amount of money, but still, I think that was like I made the mistakes also the way I was managing the budget, and also the way I was legally managing some of the relationships with the people, the services that I was taking for the company, or people that were employed by the company. And from that mistake, I learned a lot, because today I'm very careful about everything that I do, and the budgeting is very exact, and also the way that people are legally connected to the company is much more safe and exact. So yeah, that's like this is one example of a mistake that I learned a lot from, and until today I'm still learning from, and also making better decisions.
What are 3 traits that you look for in a co-founder, business partner type of person?
A very good friend of mine, Neorai, called me and he said, listen, me and Yaron, which is also a great guy that we basically joined forces together, and he's one of the co-founders of GenZ. Neorai called me and he said, listen, we're thinking about this problem of unemployment and how we're going to solve it. And then we just started working on it. Like he's just a very good friend. So I think that you want to be careful who you choose as your co-founder, and also you want to be able to put your ego on the side. Sometimes you need to do that. A lot of the times you need to do that. Who's going to lead the company? Like from the first day, I remember when me and Neorai talked in the beginning, I told him, listen, you're going to lead this company, and it's you're the leader of this, and I'm here to be by your side. So I think that this is the most important thing, to be able to be very clear about your goals and what you're expecting from each other. And some friendships it works, and sometimes it doesn't. The dynamics between the 3 of us, we're always like very transparent, and as we're moving forward with the product and different iterations that we're doing, because it's still in the beginning compared to Circles. So I think that we're learning about the relationships of the 3 of us and how we work together. It's I think the most important thing is to really bring good people that have good intentions, and be very careful.
Could you name one advantage and one disadvantage of being such a young entrepreneur?
This process is a matter of time. Like there's no way to make shortcuts. It's a process, and it takes time. And as you start younger, then you see the results at a younger age. Mm-hmm. It's easy. Maybe it's easier to run afterwards relationships. I don't know, but you you kind of like start everything younger, so so it helps you achieve goals earlier, I think, because you start the process earlier. It might be a little bit harder when you're in your 30s or 40s to do this part of the stuff. Very energized, like I don't have a problem to work 20 hours a day, and not anymore. So that's yeah. So I think that that's an advantage, and also it's super cool to do it at a young age. It's fun, and you're creating something. But then the disadvantage is, I don't. Disadvantage is like it's a hard thing to say, but I think you need to think very well. Like you need to think why you're doing it. Like I don't like a lot of people sometimes do it. They're trying to do it because they think it's cool or because it sounds cool. And most of the time it's not cool. Like it's a lot of headache and a lot of like it's a lot of effort, and it's not always fun. So I think like I don't want to say it's a disadvantage because really from the hard points you really that's what empowers you and takes you forward. But really sometimes you need to give up on like friends, basically in your life, and while you're going into your journey, then all of like the disadvantages that I can say now are worth it. But it's not simple. You need to be 100% focused, 120% focused on your career, nothing else.
What is a tech tool that you just can't go without? Maybe an app or a website, something that you always use.
First of all, I use my calendar, and we now started using Google Chat in our company. So kind of like my WhatsApp is a little bit more normal now. Usually, like until we were managing everything on WhatsApp, so it wasn't very effective. So I think I pretty much live in my calendar a lot of the time when I'm on my phone. I like Medium. I read a lot in Medium. If you just even though that doesn't have to do with productivity, but I like Medium.
Which entrepreneurs inspire you the most these days? Who do you have your eye on?
Yeah, I learn from everyone. I think that also I learn also from I I have another story. When I started the company, I went through gas stations in Israel, and I asked like the person that's like the guy that's putting gas in the cars, what would make him use circles to share ideas on our platform around construction sites and speak to like users of our platform, and also in Ella, like to people in the airport. And I'm saying these stories because I really think that you can learn from everyone. It doesn't matter if he's an entrepreneur or not. And I get inspired from every story, like every story that's meaningful, and everybody that has like a meaning for his life. So yeah, Elon Musk, like he's super. You learn from everyone. I really like Monday.com and their founders. They're very similar to our business, like what I'm trying to do. Yeah, from a business point of view. So I learned from them a lot. And yeah, but I learn from everyone. I have my own personality, and I do the stuff my way. But after, like I said, my mentors, I learned a lot from every person that I meet. I learned something new, and obviously from reading about different decisions if it's Elon Musk, if it's Steve Jobs, or whatever, or any entrepreneur, because they wanted to turn to be what they like. They wanted to make an impact, and that's what I want to do, and I'm learning from everyone. You can impact 5 people too, or 5 million. It depends on different decisions that you make in your life, I think.
Which trait of yours do you feel is your weakest and you need to outsource it somehow with a coworker or maybe a tech platform?
Summarizing, writing, meetings or writing tasks. Like I keep everything in my head. So sometimes I can be very in my own world. Sometimes I have something I need to do and I forget about it, and then It takes like another day or two. I think that until now, till the last couple of days, because now we really got some more people on the team. I was doing so much stuff that really I was very focused on like the tactics of the day to day. And now I brought like a really cool team that I have to like I learn a lot from each and one of them. Like if it's a product manager, then I feel like I have so much to learn and from a product point of view. So I can like basically everything that I've been doing was very tactical and to accomplish missions. So I didn't really do anything like excellent. Like I did a lot of stuff. They were great, but not like. So I think that I have to like I learn all the time, and I don't think that I'm perfect in anything. But so yeah, but I'm really not good at summarizing and writing. Um, and also another thing is sometimes because like there's so much stuff during the day, then sometimes I'm like or very tired or I'm kind of disconnected. So sometimes I have less energy when I'm talking to a lot of people.
What single piece of advice do you have to give to those who are listening and looking to be in your place?
First of all, they need to wait to be in their own place, not my place. They need to imagine where they want to be. Who did they want to impact? How do they want their life to look like? And do everything to accomplish that. Like I think the number one thing that I believe in is motivation. Like really, you don't have to be the smartest person in the room. You don't like. In the end of the day, you need to do the 100%, not 99%, and that 1% that makes the difference. And that 1% comes from motivation, from ambition, from being very focused, not giving up. All these words that might be cliches, but that's the most important thing. And it can be anything. It can be creating a company. It can be being a better friend to someone. It can be building I don't know, music center for 10 people in your community. It doesn't matter. I gave that example because actually in one of my projects, someone actually did that. The thing is to define what's the impact for you and what makes you feel meaningful and focus on that.
How important do you feel it is for young entrepreneurs to think about social change when creating a business?
I think that it's critical. Like in the end of the day, the way to create impact today, and also before today, is always through initiatives, through social initiatives, through business initiatives. And I think that younger entrepreneurs and like also 20s, 30s, especially today, are very aware of social change and creating social awareness for different challenges of its climate change, of its diversity, gender, and all types of stuff. So I think it's kind of like a standard today, like kind of a innovation hub for children at risk for the Education Ministry of Israel, for the Education Ministry of Israel. So I think that the combination is very important. And also I was at a conference once where Ronald Cohen, he's a very well-known VC, said that you can also do good and also do well. And I think that that's very, like, I don't forget that quote. Like, I think that really the best way to do well is also to do good.
If you could have any superpower in the world, what would you pick?
Superpower. Probably the option to get anywhere in the world, just hovering, kind of like without taking an airplane, or that could be cool. And maybe also shooting fire with your hands or something.